We're starting off high.
So we can get a two fools agree on that one. Oh, by the way, look, we got the wide shot. Ah!
There was you had accountability. Now what I can
Now all you need is a podcast and a YouTube channel.
No, not even.
Where give me the money. Show me the money.
Apparently there's a Foolproof page.
Shoot the J. Shoot it. Live on Facebook.com/Foolproof Entertainment Network. I need you on Twitter. I need you to repost the Facebook pages.
To raise a human before I would
Trust a human to raise back wolves.
before I would trust a pack of humans to raise a wolf.
Right. I hear you. Yo, what up, fools? Welcome to another edition of Do Fools Agree. As always, I'm your host, Michael Reggie, here with my main man, Clifford Jordan Jennings.
Live long and prosper.
Bitches.
Fill in them blanks.
Right? Oh, man. Sorry, we are getting a little bit of a late start, but, you know.
Is it?
Yeah, we're about
I
5
think
off.
we right on time, baby.
Frodo Baggins, a wizard is never early,
No?
nor is he late. He
Always
arrives
on time.
precisely when he means to.
Mm-hmm. I guess I'm a wizard.
Right? That must be it.
Not a grand, but I'm a wizard.
Right. Don't want the... No.
No grandiose.
Nobody wants that. Oh, man. How you been?
I'm still here. I'm still breathing.
Still standing. I'm still strong.
You know, that's all one could ask for.
That's true.
I mean, I could ask for more, but
I hear you. All right. Sorry about that. Audio settings seemed to be a little off, so I was fixing things on the fly. You got any advertents to get us going today?
yeah, I got a couple. First one, let's rapid fire these hoes.
All right.
First one, do you think colorblind people make less impulsive buys?
Because things don't catch their attention?
Right.
I mean, I think that's a fair hypothesis.
You know, because I feel like, of course, you know that there's different marketing tactics, and colors is always going to be the number one.
Right.
Which is why you see a lot of companies changing up the logo and shit. And it's like, if I bought a lot of bullshit based on the color.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Whether it be food, even tennis shoes I thought I liked, and, you know, like based on color. And it's like,
turned out you didn't?
yeah, like, not really didn't, you know what I mean? Like, you always dig them when you get them, but then if you're like me, like where you don't wear your shit constantly,
Yeah.
you can't bring it out years later and be like, oh, I'm, you know,
I still mess with
this.
this.
Nah, I don't.
Gotcha.
You know what I'm saying? And I feel like if a motherfucker was colorblind, he probably wouldn't have made them buys in the first place. I'm not saying that, like, you know, colorblind people have better finances. I'm just saying that I doubt they make a lot of impulsive buys. You feel what I'm saying?
I do.
Is
No,
the
that
light
makes
cutting
sense.
in and out?
It sounds like it a little bit. Can you move it a little closer to you?
Yeah, I can move it closer to me. I just want to make sure it's not a connection issue.
Well, if you want to unplug it and replug it real quick, that works too.
Yeah, because now, let's do that. Because I don't want to fuck up this gold.
Right. No doubt.
We back.
All right. That sounds a little bit better.
Live long and prosper.
There we go. All right. Good stuff. Well, no, I mean, colorblind people buy impulse buys. I mean, you would think less things would catch their eye.
That's what I'm saying, man. It makes sense to me. I don't know how inadvertent it is, but it definitely popped into my mind today. And I was, because you know what it was, is I was going to Speedway to get my little coffee this morning.
Right.
And I don't know if it's because the season changed, but I noticed they changed, their creamer options, and
which feels like a seasonal thing. Yeah,
there was something else that was different. I can't remember off the top of my head at the moment, but I was just thinking like, damn, I almost grabbed that motherfucker just off of how it looked. You know what I'm saying? Like, and then I had to come back to my plain Jane like, nah, you're a half and half kind of guy, all right?
You're not sophisticated.
You know what I'm saying? Put the caramel macchiato down.
You basic bitch.
You're a half and half kind of guy. I had to jump back on my basic bitch shit because they almost got me. And I was just thinking like, colorblind, you probably wouldn't even have had that because at that point, everything is black and white damn near, right? So depending on what kind of colorblind, but you know what I'm saying? Like, all of it's just reading the words at that point.
It is.
You know what I mean? And that, I feel like, gives you a better judgment, because something can throw your judgment off, just a color that you like.
I mean, I feel like words could do that too, but...
You're right.
I hear what you're saying. And to your point, like, it's not... The thing is words are less likely to steal your attention. So, bright colors or something colorful may pull your attention when you didn't mean for it to.
So if colorblind could make you a better, financial management...
Does that make it...
motherfucker... If you can't read, then that means you saving all the bread, right?
right.
Because at that point, you got operate off of referral. Like, nah, this is good, G. I know you don't know what it say, but
but it's good. It's solid. Trust me.
Look at Floyd Mayweather. That nigga sitting on bees. He got billions, and that motherfucker can't read a lick. Look at Fantasia. I don't know. I'm just throwing them out there.
You're just throwing names out there?
There's been some pretty successful motherfuckers.
Calling out some...
You hear me? So we may be onto something when it comes to the colorblind and the I'm sorry for anybody,
Well, Uncle Dan's colorblind.
Is he?
He is. He's red. Well, he's red green.
What kind of porn does he like?
Probably the same stuff he watched growing up, black and white.
Hey man, sometimes you guys.
Sometimes you need the vintage.
Sprinkle in a few rainbows. If I see another cat I have never seen before.
You know what's crazy is that all of these cats lived with me for like 7 years, bro. Just because they haven't lived with me for the last year.
Okay.
So it's not like they're brand new.
I'm not going crazy though.
No, I am house sitting I was house sitting for 3. I'm house sitting for 2. One unfortunately passed about a month after she gave it to me.
This motherfucker got a feline foster home.
I do. This is the Michael Reggie halfway house for wayward kittens and cats.
Well, I kick cats. You get away from me, cat. Yeah, you hurt me. I don't know.
That is not the one.
Get. You better fucking get before I get to getting.
Just shake a water bottle at him.
You hear me? Get out of here.
Oh, but he knocked out our wide shot camera. Son of a bitch.
See? Fucking, I see why it's a halfway house.
Well, I'm going to need you to keep going while I fix this because that's our guest cam.
Listen, that's why you can't trust fucking cats.
I mean, you're not wrong.
Got a whole house of them.
I tried not
to. For what? A whole house of felines for what? Let's run a fucking cat cage fighting competition. There's too much of them in the world anyway when you really think about it.
In terms of cats?
Yeah.
I mean, you always hear about dog fighting rings. I don't think you hear much about cat fighting.
I think you should hear a lot more cats because, listen, I think you should hear a lot more of that. I'm not promoting.
You're not promoting animal violence,
cruelty or anything. But I'm just saying, if you want to get crazy with an animal, pick a cat.
I tell you what, your girl Lipka though, she still catches a mouse here and there. She's the only one that earns her keep in the house.
Listen, that's the only reason to have a cat.
No doubt.
Pest control.
Absolutely. But you gotta have one that's not lazy, and Lipka looks like she's lazy, but occasionally she'll still get one.
Listen, fuck the nonsense. Leave them cats, and that's what's crazy is the cats. Okay, so
the cats want to be outside until they get a taste of the good life.
You know what's crazy is I already told you, hella stray cats in my neighborhood, and every now and then I'll find a mouse on my porch. They're trying
to let you know, like that's right, why
like,
we're.
Look
that's
at
why
me. I'm helping out. Like feed me something. Or
I'm doing my part.
I'm like, bitch, if you don't get full off them rats, I suggest you move the fuck on. Like, what the fuck do you want me to do? You should have finished your meal. Leave me out of it. Because y'all are both the same in my book. A rat and a cat is the exact same fucking thing to me.
Aww. Meanwhile, Cliff used to hotbox with my cat up here in the studio, and they were good friends for a while until...
We may or may not indulge together.
Until Lipka decided to claw the shit out of him one day.
Swiped at me. I was about to just kick this microphone cord. I thought it was a cat. Back over. Yeah, Claude, I don't play. You got one time to fuck up with me, and it's a wrap.
It's done.
We don't fuck around no more.
Oh, man. All right.
I ain't an umpire nor a judge, motherfucker. You got one time.
No 3 strikes.
Listen, to get a life sentence. You hear me?
Oh, man. So, the REITs out in the chat asking if we're picking on Lucky, and yes, we are.
What's that, the orange and white one?
The orange and white one, yep. That big bastard.
Listen.
He doesn't do shit.
He looked real clueless, like he ain't know who I was. Like, I want to kick a cat around here.
Derp.
Who's this guy over here around this corner? Meanwhile, I'm giving him warnings, like, back up, cat.
I'm going to need you to take 2 steps back.
You hear me?
Or you fuck around and find out.
Why is that okay, though? You can stomp the shit out of a mouse or a rat, but let you harm a cat and you go into jail.
Oh, there's a whole Netflix documentary about that. Isn't it like Don't Fuck with Cats? Isn't that like wasn't that a big
that
thing?
Dude was different though. He was on some Dexter shit. Like they caught him before he graduated to human beings. He probably wouldn't have jumped straight into humans from cats, but I'd imagine
he probably had. That was probably an interim step. He was probably on his way.
He was on his way there. But I'm saying just in general, like I feel like anything that invades your space, you should be able to.
True.
You know?
Yeah.
Not necessarily like stomp it out, but I should be able to, physically move it.
Right.
I don't care if it's a dog. I don't care if whatever it is. And I know motherfuckers love dogs, and that's going to get into my next invert. I'm about to transition.
You going to go after Kylo next?
You hear me, though? If you can't keep your dog off me, don't get mad if I choke slam that motherfucker.
Well, sometimes he needs that.
I'm just saying.
I did get an electro collar for him that I need to start doing and start using specifically when people come over because he does have a tendency to jump, and he needs to get in line on that.
I think the fact that you got him so young and, he wasn't with someone specifically getting him.
Yeah.
I don't think he understands that I'm getting bigger and this is, being a problem.
Right.
Like, you can still tell it's
you can
a
tell
baby.
You can still tell he's a puppy.
Right.
Yeah.
But...
Although he's running out, he's running out of that leash,
and motherfuckers would be scared if he creeps up on them. That's the fact, motherfucker. You're not little.
Well, let's be clear. That's also why I wanted a bigger dog. Mm-hmm. I want somebody when they look in, if they're peeking in a window or something, to have a second thought about it.
But even still, I look at Milo and I see the floppy ears, and I'm like. I could take it.
You know what I'm saying? I tell you what, like 90% of the time, he is the biggest sweetheart you will ever meet, and like all he wants to do is be on you and lick and all of that.
Right.
But that 10%, and I've seen it come out of him at the dog park once or twice, and it's always after somebody else starts stuff. Like he doesn't really start stuff, but he has no problem finishing it. Yeah,
right. He has a good temperament.
Like the first time somebody goes after him, he can get. He looks scary when and I mean he's part pit, right? So he's always gonna have that in him, but it doesn't come out very often. But when it does, like he can be a scary little dog.
I don't know if I would say scary though. Maybe to another dog.
Right.
Or a person who is afraid
of dogs anyways. Yep.
But even if his hair was standing up and his gums was showing, I would still be like, I'll fuck you up. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, you're not wrong.
Fuck you up. But, listen, I either ran or fought dogs, so I wasn't worried.
That was not a concern.
They said, what you got, fight or flight? Both, motherfucker?
Let's go.
Both of them. I don't know which one going to pop out. You be the judge.
I had to take first week on the new gig, lots of like corporate training videos and that kind of thing, and one of them is the active shooter drill.
I hate that shit.
It's all the run, fight, hide. We probably all watched the same video because I'm pretty sure this one is the same as the one at my old job. It shows the one
where the girl has
like
to
the
hide.
Warehouse.
She has to. No, I don't know if it was a warehouse scene, but there was definitely one where a girl had to hide in the like the, what do you call it? The room, like the mainframe room.
Oh, the server room.
Yeah, she had to hide, and they were asking like, well, what should she do next? Remain here or
run, fight, or hide?
And they said hide, and they said grab, whatever in the room is a weapon and stay there until you feel like there's nothing else that you can do.
Right.
And that's what you should do. That's not what I'm going to do.
Right.
That's what you should do, but that's not what I'm going to do. And I'm not no fucking hero neither. Understand that. If I can't get out of there, I'm fighting.
Yeah.
That's it. That's all.
Well, yeah, because in those situations, they're expecting people to be afraid and to be disorganized and not thinking. I'm fighting.
That's not a plan. The plan was never to wait and hide until I was found or everybody's dead. It was just get enough time to figure out my next move.
Right.
I'm on my way out the door.
No doubt. Well, I had that thought because so I have an office. It's a glass window office. So like I have a front wall that's glass, and I have a door that's glass, and I'm looking down the hallway at the two exit signs. I'm like, if somebody comes in here, I'm fucked. There is clear pathway between me and the exit, but if that's where they're coming from, I got nowhere to hide because my office is fourth.
So that's
so I ain't breaking the window and jumping either.
I mean, it depends.
I don't think there's no trees out that window.
I mean, how you want to go? You want to get shot?
Oh no, I'm fighting at that point. Like,
nah,
I'm flipping this table up and using it like a shield.
Motherfuckers being shot. It's not that bad. You just better hope you got somebody there to get you where you need to go.
Right.
Otherwise, it's that bad, I guess.
I guess so.
I guess. You lost.
So I guess that qualifies as my inadvertent thought for the week was finishing up this active shooter video and being like, I am a prime target in this glass office at the end of the hallway that gets you to the exit.
Well, you know what? No disrespect, and I love you to the end of the world. But you should be. You should be the target. You should be. They should leave the little call center motherfuckers alone.
Go for the corporate.
You should work from the top down. All active shooters now have to work from the top
floor down. Fifth floor to fourth floor.
These motherfuckers are just as pissed as you. If they had a gun, they'd probably shoot with you.
They'd probably join in.
The fuck? And you shooting these motherfuckers.
Oh, damn, man.
That's just as dumb as shooting up a school. Like, those are two places where you have people that don't want to be there. Kids don't want to be in the school, and we don't want to be at work. Why are you shooting us? Shoot the motherfuckers that's making the money, that show up every day, that ain't calling off.
Although, now that I'm thinking about that, I'm trying to think, when was the last time, like, you know that phrase of going postal came from a situation in a post office.
Yeah.
But, like, you don't hear about
last time I remember
mass shootings at, like, an office or a company as much as you do at school these
2012?
days.
Was it 2012? We had a shooting in the, I think it was Columbus post office. It was out west.
Oh, okay.
The dude got fired from the post office out west. Can't remember the street, but I know the post office, and he went in there and shot. I want to say that was 2012.
And again, like, why?
Right, I mean, he got fired, but everybody else want to go postal too, motherfucker.
Right, and I mean, at that point, like, that is letting them dictate the rest of your life for sure.
And then, regardless, it doesn't matter, because, I mean, I couldn't understand being that upset that I would throw my life away over a job.
Right.
Over my child or something like that, completely different. A job, no. But if I was ever in that situation, I would not be going to the place that I worked. I would be going to headquarters.
Fair.
Where is the post office headquarters? That's where I'm at. I'm working from the top down.
You going to the state house first.
I'm not going to the people like me that's just as upset.
Right.
Your day's coming too. They gonna do you the same way they did me.
Trust me.
And you gonna feel the same way. Why would I come at you if you're an ally at that point? Fucking weird shit. Who's Coda?
Oh, I think this is a pop-up menu, which I thought I cleared all those.
But yeah, nah. I mean, that shit crazy.
That is nuts.
But as far as dogs go, my second introvert.
All right.
White folks and dogs, that's a mean combination, bro. I mean, it's the truth, too, because, I mean, I remember vividly having this thought multiple times. I remember I worked with this gay dude, loved him to death, coolest dude in the world. Can't remember his name. I do know his name. It was John or Jeff or...
some J name.
Yeah, but I worked with him at, I'm not going to name the job, but he was mad cool. He was talking to me. He was my boss at a job, and he was talking to me about his dog, and they was like, yeah, we had to get him a new bed. How much you think this motherfucker spent on the bed? And remove gay tax, right? Because, you know, gay folks will go over, over the top.
Probably $100.
$5,000.
What?
$5,000 for his dog.
I was bouncing between $100 and $350, like, because I've paid for them before. But
for his dog's new bed and the job. Fuck what I'm talking about. The job was Verizon. How in the fuck
can you afford a $5,000 bed? They obviously paying him more than they pay you.
Now, mind you, what was the Sean Kunix? You remember him, the poker player that he was the one that owned that. We didn't operate under corporate Verizon. We were our own Verizon.
Gotcha.
So I'm sure he was probably dishing people off more, that he liked. But $5,000 for a bed? When I listen,
dude, I didn't even spend $5,000 on my bed.
You know what I'm saying? Listen, I am 36 years old. I think I've only ever bought 2 beds in my life.
Yeah. And probably didn't spend $5,000 on them. On the mattress and the frame.
I've had all my life ain't been $5,000.
Mine probably comes close to that after the 4 king size ones plus the adjustable. But
nigga, I gotta get a new mattress, and I'm looking at mattress prices like I could pay my car off. I
tell you what, if you're looking for a new mattress, Wayfair is actually not a bad spot to buy mattresses.
Okay.
Because you can get a decent one for, I think my king was like $300, $400.
Yeah, that's what's up. Because what I've been seeing for what I'm looking for, like $1,100, and I'm for a fucking mattress.
Nah, if you're okay going with like the bed in a box that they come all compressed and then you.
Yeah, no, I'm absolutely fine with that, and I've just now gotten hip to that.
Yeah,
and that does make a lot of sense.
Yeah, but those are ones like it. So a hybrid, I can't do the memory foam because it's too hot. But if you do
foam either.
If you do a hybrid one that's like partial foam, partial spring, it's fine.
And it's still around the same price?
Yeah.
I think you just hit me to something. Because I need one ASAP. If I didn't know I could have got something for that price, I probably would have
already done it.
Yeah, and I would have upgraded to the King with the box spring and the mattress for give me $600-700. That's still $400 or $500 off of what I planned on paying for the mattress.
You can probably get that through Wayfair.
Okay, I need to look into that.
Now I got no box spring because I have the adjustable platform.
Well, see, I'm ghetto. I still don't have a bed frame.
Well, and that's the other thing.
I don't like the bed frame though. I like my bed on the floor. I like a real Japanese style house.
You know,
everything close to the floor.
On that front, though, that's another thing. Like, if you wanted to get like a platform bed, something that didn't require a box spring, but it's got like the wooden slats across it, you could probably pick that up for $150-200 too. Instead of doing a box spring.
I didn't think about that either. Listen, you got to talk to your grown friends. Because Lord knows I'm a Toys R Us kid.
Yeah, right.
I don't know nothing about it.
See, the problem with the mattress on the floor at our age is getting off the floor.
Listen, it's crazy, though. I break dance right the fuck up out of there when my alarm go off.
Good for you. That is not my experience.
I got short legs anyway. I'm a little nigga, so. I don't need I ain't trying to hop down and sprain an ankle.
Uh-oh, we may have a guest joining us.
Is that Matthew J., Michael's great nephew?
Great nephew? I think we would be stepbrothers.
No, Michael J. Fox.
Oh, Michael J. Fox.
That's his great nephew. That's my guy.
You built a time machine out of a DeLorean? Well, if you're gonna do something, you might as well do it with style.
What's going on, my guy?
Here's the thing.
Matthew, ain't seen you in a while.
Flip, what's going on, man?
Living the dream. Somebody's. It ain't mine. It ain't mine, but it's somebody's dream, so I'm appreciating it.
I need to dream bigger.
I don't know how. I guess that's what our parents were for. You didn't do it good enough. No, I'm just playing.
Yeah, I'll start this off with an inadvertent that just popped in my head. When people come here and say, him with how you doing, living the dream. It's like, do you think you had better dreams?
My response to that one is always, well, nightmares are dreams, I guess.
Was it a dream or a coma?
Something positive, but it just falls short every time.
The fuck? But I mean, we breathing. We're of decent health. So
we're still here. We're still standing. We're still.
We can't be ungrateful, and I will never be. But
hey, well, cheers to that right there.
Cheers to it, bruh.
Salud.
How's the youngins doing?
Oh man, he's a maniac, man. Sorry for the late joining here. That's why.
I get it. We were 5 minutes late for the same reason. So
listen, and his is a handful in itself.
He's 2 handfuls.
Man, that motherfucker there, I love him to death.
That is only 3.5 years old, and he picked up a wheelbarrow with 2 bags of mulch in it and started moving it across the lawn.
Nice.
What in the hell is going on?
That's how you know you got a hawk.
Hey, Andrew started cutting the grass at 4.
Listen, and since we bragging on our kids, my daughter used to lift my 50-pound dumbbells up at 3 and move them across the room and doesn't play a lick of sport. cheerleader. My cheerleader daughter.
You just told me softball was supposed to start tomorrow. Volleyball.
They've been playing her on the softball, so she got to go to a different league. So.
Gotcha.
But I am geek for softball. I already been looking up gloves that I can buy for myself so
you could play catch. That's nice.
Yeah, Henderson's in T-ball right now, man, and it's hilarious.
Is it?
Dude, these kids are like, it's wrangling cats, man.
Right. We don't like them around here. We don't like cats. They just want to
play in the dirt. It's hilarious. We paid like $120 for a season, and you get a lot of games out of it. But at the same time, it's like, this is just a time
Y'all
suck.
paid $120?
Play in fucking dirt.
I had to pay $150, and they canceled the first game and the first 3 practices.
That's most of my experience with youth sports. It's like $200. Exactly what
happened.
And they canceled it.
They canceled 4 out of the 6 practices, so they get out there on the field in the first game, and it's like they have no idea what to do.
Right. And I don't want. Listen, I love my daughter to death, but I don't want to watch you on a softball field not knowing what to do.
Not knowing how to play. Trust me, after coaching flag football last year, absolutely the truth.
Listen, I love you. You my daughter, right? But I might love you less. Real talk. Like, you just looking crazy on a softball field, that might change my love for you. Like, damn, I got a lot more work to do. I didn't know that I was this far behind.
I have seen it on the field where parents are just like, I slowly just hate you a little bit more.
right. And I'm not saying that. I love my baby, but listen, I'm telling the truth.
Sure, they do too, but they are frustrated as shit when it's like, why won't you go after the ball even a little bit?
And that's people ask me like, well, you coach. Why don't you coach your son? Because I want to be able to take him home at night.
You know, it's frustrating. That shit's frustrating. The only way my dad did it to me is because it was boxing, so he got to beat on me while he was doing it.
See, he had the right idea.
It's your fault, not mine. You're getting hit. It's your fault. And now I'm just older thinking it's my fault. I'm just thinking it's my fault. I gotta fucking change up, and it's not working.
Do you keep your gloves up now?
You said what?
Do you keep your gloves up now?
Oh no, gloves stay up. Now that's one thing. Listen, gloves stay up, and you will never see me in the corner of a ring. He taught me that brutally.
Right, no doubt. Those are good life lessons.
Listen.
All right, I do want to give some shout-outs to the chat real quick. Malk out there saying, oh, Cliff in office today. Okay.
It's an office day.
He was wondering who you were talking about for Verizon, and he said he'll hit you up on that. And then...
He knows exactly who I am. Isn't his name Jeff or Jay?
We'll see if he jumps in here. And then the Reeds...
I know his last name, I won't say it, but...
The Reeds chiming in about your bed being on the floor. She said, Cliff doesn't have as far to go to the floor as you do.
You know, that is the truth. That's the truth. Listen, she's not lying.
She remembers T-ball being a lot of 36 ties because they were 6-inning games with 6-inning runner limits.
Not 36 ties. Nah, my dad would never let me play in the league or something like that. If it's not a winner or a loser, you're not playing. He's pulled me out of leagues that was like participate. I remember I got my first participation trophy in the 8th grade, and I refused it.
Was this our baseball team?
Nah, it was football.
Oh, no, 8th grade. 8th grade.
And that was because I missed the championship with the flu. I didn't get to play in the championship game, and we lost because I wasn't in it. And I'm not accepting no participation trophy. We lost. Y'all keep the trophy. Give them mine. How about that? That's weird. Like, shit's weird nowadays, and now we wonder why our world is so fucking weird. Because you made weird kids.
You made weird choices.
And you still trying to make weird choices with the kids, and then you gonna ask 10 years later why they act like, because you were weird.
You know, it's funny. I see a lot on like TikTok with like Gen X being kind of the silent generation. Like, they're just as active on social media, but nobody really goes after them the way they go after like millennials and Gen Z.
That's because millennials and Gen Z came from a hands-on era.
Well, it's because we came from Gen X. Gen X is who raised us.
See, I don't know all the gens and all the, you know what I'm saying?
X is more actually adept at just like slowly backing out.
Right, like they Homer Simpson it like.
Right.
I base my generation off of Coca-Cola commercials. I come from the polar bear Christmas era. I don't know what
I like that
Coca-Cola era y'all come from.
Well, we fall into the Zennial category, the three of us.
What does that even mean?
That means we are at the cusp of Gen X and millennials.
Okay.
Like we've got almost Gen X values, but we're adaptable like millennials.
Okay.
It's also why we don't have any leaders in our generation because we've seen so much change that we don't know what we're trying to lead.
Listen, it was a dude.
Oh, go ahead, Matt. You're breaking up, but go ahead.
Yeah. Come back.
Do I need the headphones on or something like that?
No, you're good. Just start all over what you said because you did cut out a bit.
I'm sorry. I don't even know what I was gonna say. Fuck.
God,
damn it.
Damn these damn aliens.
Fucking lag.
It'll come back to you.
Yeah, eventually.
What were we talking about though?
We were Gen X, millennial.
I don't know what that means.
I understand.
What were we talking about?
Oh, yeah, no, millennial. The
there we
like,
go.
I resent being called a millennial.
I don't like it either.
I feel like that term was associated with people like younger than myself.
I agree.
Like I was born in '85, man. Like I grew up in a world where the internet was not readily available until I was like 10, right. And even then it was very questionable.
And even then you had to sneak to watch porn because you heard. You 1 o'clock in the morning. Listen, I heard my mom in the room with the and I almost shut the door. Like I don't know what job she applying for, but I'm closing this joint because I know what I do.
And that shit is wild because like these 24-year-old kids were born in 2000. You know, they were born into a world where the internet was just prevalent. They matured in an era where iPhones just became a thing.
That's why they don't know how to do it.
Yeah,
That's why they don't know how to do it.
World without it.
Right.
You're great at internet, but you're awful at life. You'll kill a motherfucker in FaceTime about it after you did it. And you think that won't get you a life sentence?
Right.
No, let's keep it a buck. Now we in 2023. It'll get you 7 years. But do you want to serve 7 years? Just don't put your face on the video. Just don't start the video. John Morant, just don't pull a gun out on a video.
No doubt.
Like, that shit weird. This whole world is weird.
How do these kids not know that, though?
How should you not know that?
Right? You know what I'm saying? It's like, that seems rather self-evident. Don't do that.
I don't get it. I don't know what's...
Is it like a mentality of these kids that like grew up like raised in the virtual environment where everything seems like a video game?
No,
it's like flat.
I think you're onto something, but I also think that it is the mentality that was produced by entertainment, social media, all that.
The instant gratification.
You feel what I'm saying? So this is
you don't think long term when everything's instantly gratifying.
Right. This is one thing I will say is when we were coming up, there was no clout, right? You could do something that would make you famous to the end of time, but nobody saw it.
Nobody knew about
it. Only the people that knew you, that were there, saw that shit. Now it's like these kids want to be that so bad that they'll try to manufacture it, and it ends up getting you in trouble.
Right. Right. That's spot on.
I would chalk that up to growing pains.
Yeah.
I mean, growing pains, play a
because
factor,
I think here's the difference is that when we were growing up, I mean, especially young adult male or young males, we're going to do wild shit to try to get the attention, right? Now, getting that attention is just amplified. Like, getting the attention of those in your immediate vicinity isn't good enough. You've got to try to get the attention of, the nation, the world, whatever, even if it's just for 15 seconds.
Not only that, there's another layer to that, and that whatever you do to gain attention is not just, like, forgotten or was only seen by the people that were there. It's etched in stone in the cloud.
Right.
Motherfuckers
you can't, like, hop on your phone and delete it.
Right.
Your laptop and delete it. Like, it's there forever.
Motherfuckers is willing to trade their life away for a video that will always get likes.
Right.
10 years from now to still get likes.
That goes back to a lot of
whatever. You know what I'm saying?
That goes back to a lot of our conversation, I think probably a couple months ago, about I think people are in a desperate state of loneliness. And because we don't have human connection, the connection we have is virtual. And it is all the likes. It is like it's the only way to feel connected at some point.
Do you blame this on COVID, or do you think this was on the way before COVID?
Oh, I think it was definitely on the way before COVID. I think it was accelerated by COVID.
Listen, I think COVID... What'd you say, Matt?
I think COVID set the stage.
No, definitely. I think...
Up to 100.
I think it's the same with the Canadian fires. Have you seen the dude?
Mm-mm.
I don't even know why they allowed this to be, like, put out. You know what I'm saying? But it's a white dude from Canada that's basically saying, like, don't be confused. The government started these fires. And they started the fires to move everybody from out of the off the grid areas into the city so they can control everyone. And if y'all don't recognize it, and he's saying this, if y'all don't recognize it now and start, like, effectively attacking, you know what I'm saying? Like, he's basically calling for war. And don't get me wrong, I agree with everything he said. Even if the Canada fires were not started by the government, which I doubt, I do think they were started by the government. It's still about time for us to rise up and show
that I
some
don't
sort of, you know what I'm saying? So the fact that they allowed this man, clean-faced, to do this, and it's all over World Star and YouTube and everything, and I'm thinking to myself, like, why would you stop it? You remember when we first started this podcast, I said, it will never be a civil war over whites and blacks. It will always be haves and have-nots.
Yep.
And we're getting to the point now, right now, where the haves and the have-nots have never been separated so far. We don't have much more time to go before it's either do we go to war with the haves? Or
we haven't been since, the wealthy landowners versus the plebes, right? Like,
I would argue back then the Civil War.
Yeah.
I would
argue the Civil War. There was other, matters at stake, but the Civil War was I would say, the first real haves, have-nots.
No, I think it was all haves, have-nots until that point in a lot of ways. Nah, go ahead, Matt.
I think it'll probably be, similar to what you're talking about. The stimulating factors for what drives us to, go at each other will be something of the same, but I think it'll be a slow ramp up. It won't just be like a, click and here it's on.
Immediate, right.
I don't want to get too conspiratorial. I'm with you, Cliff, to a degree. Like, I've seen plenty of tinfoil hat people that are trying to tell me that, the Owl Society is running the fucking world. And, like, I just watched a thing about this today about Kid Cudi.
He said about Kid Cudi. Listen, he's seen something. I guarantee you that. That motherfucker been fucked up since day and night. He's seen something. I don't know what they brought him into.
It was on.
But you know what? Go ahead.
With what's his face? Kanye and like all. his rise to fame and everything, suspect. But like this dude went down like the deep rabbit hole and was citing some ridiculous sources for his evidence. And it was like, yes, he definitely, like, the Illuminati exists. Here's the proof. And it's like he's basing this off of like lines from a song and movies. It's like, it's obvious. It's right here.
It don't matter. But see, that's what they allowed to get to us. You feel me? But you don't ruin them up. Listen, Kid Cudi is from Cleveland, Ohio.
I know. I love
a motherfucker. I've never met a motherfucker from Cleveland, Ohio like Kid Cudi. You hear what I'm saying? That doesn't work. It doesn't equal the same. Kid Cudi was created based upon what he saw when he accepted the contract. But there's not nobody, you're not going to meet hella motherfuckers in Ohio that's like, oh, you remind me of Kid Cudi. What?
Okay, I'm just going to throw it out there like, Kid Cudi. So what is it that you love about Kid Cudi?
Me?
Yeah, I mean, what makes Kid Cudi so special?
I love his vulnerability in his music. Even that Day and Night song was a cry for help. Motherfuckers just didn't hear it.
No, I mean, I dig what you're saying, but I mean, at the same time, I grew up on Bone Thugs. I'm from Cleveland.
See you at the crossroads.
Right? There was a lot of really good music to come out of Cleveland.
I mean, it is the site of the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
I mean, rock and roll is not what we're talking about. We're talking about rap.
I understand, but it's Genesis.
I mean, yeah, the Genesis is all one.
A rough fucking town where people grew up hard. And that reads, and most good music comes from people that had hard upbringings.
I agree with that.
Most good anything comes from that. Most good anything comes from that. Art.
Any kind of art. Yeah.
Anything.
Like,
Even sports. You look at your LeBrons, look at your Floyds, who was in foster care and had to get back to, he had to fight. He had to literally fight to get back to his family.
Yeah.
To show I'm in a good spot. We're good. But the motherfuckers don't give you props for that.
Like, should we put our kids through more trials and tribulations to make great people?
Yes.
Because like only the really great people really come out of sacrifice.
No, I agree. I agree with both you said. It definitely comes out of sacrifice. But yes, we should put our kids.
Well, you've got to put your kids in a place to fail.
Period. No great man has ever not failed.
Right.
But I mean, all three of us have kids. Could you ever picture putting your kid in like a bad situation? I want the best.
Not necessarily a bad situation, but like putting them in a position where they will fail. Yeah.
Listen, you see.
That's why I don't let my son win at video games.
All my life, I didn't been in positions I was supposed to fail. Now, bad positions, yeah, I was put in them as well. And I'm not saying that I'm the greatest person, you know what I'm saying? Like the most well-rounded person to come out of it. But you do have to push your kids further than they ever thought they could go. You have to.
Well, they actually set your kid up to, like, you put them in a situation where it's not just like you could fail, it's you will fail.
Well, that's a lot of our life. We just don't recognize it or accept it. This 9-to-5 life is a you will fail, you're just accepting it life.
No, I mean, even beyond the 9-to-5, like anything you try,
right?
Failure. Like how many small businesses fail?
Well,
that's where I think, like education. My dad sent me a thing about like kids these days are not well educated on STEM. But that's beyond the point. I think kids aren't educated on failure.
Right. Well, and that too, like that's why I encourage sports. Like sports are one of the greatest teachers of failure because guess what? Your odds of winning every game throughout your career are very low.
Sports are off, though. I will say that. Sports are off. And I'll even say, out of all, I played football from 5 to 15. I've only I've only lost 6 games in that whole time playing. So that can screw you as well. You know what I'm saying? Like, you thinking you're better than you are.
Which is a fair comment, but what I'm saying is for the vast majority, that's not going to be the case. And even those 6 games probably taught you more than anything else. Like, for me, my senior year, where we lost to DeSales 7-0, the closest game in that 38-year stretch where we had no wins over them. But hear me, like,
I know what you said.
That was a situation where the odds weren't necessarily in our favor, but like that was the even matchup. That was our best chance to win in probably 10 years, and we still failed.
My most traumatic losses always came from boxing. Because there's no one else to, I can't put
there's no one else you can put on. You can't put it on anybody but yourself. I can't say the safety
missed the tackle. Yeah. I did that. I fucked up. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Of the MMA.
But I have had a bad one in football too. But I didn't mean to cut you off. What were you saying?
I'm with you on the competition between like just boxing, whatever it is.
Singular competition kind of fucks up your psyche.
Oh, it does. That's why I've always been a big fan of do one team sport and one individual sport.
I agree with that. I
don't care what the individual sport is. It could be wrestling, it could be track, it could be swimming, it could be whatever.
I agree with that.
But you have to be in something where you are the only thing that is your blocker.
You get an idea of why you lost.
Right.
Are your kids in martial arts yet?
Mine, no. Mine, I'm trying to get her in sports in general. She's a cheerleader.
Andrew might be doing wrestling next year.
Well, she was supposed to be in softball, but that wasn't her fault. But yeah, no, mine's not. I'm not gonna say she's not built like that because she definitely is. She just doesn't know her power.
That's another big thing for kids to learn.
Yeah, you got to know your power, and I can speak it to you all I can every time I see you, but unless you believe it, you don't know your power.
Told me that all day long when I was growing up. Like, you're a lot stronger than you think you are.
And yeah.
But I'm seeing it in my son now, and it's just like,
nobody ever spoke my power.
You gotta learn how to like control this, like this whatever gift that he's been given here.
Well, and to that note, like, it is a delicate balance as parents, especially in this society, this culture today. Like, the first 3 or 4 years of Andrew's life, because he was always bigger than anybody that was around him, it was always, you have to be careful. Because you will get singled out, because if you push a kid, he's going to fall. If someone else pushes a kid, that may not happen. So now I'm working to undo that in a lot of cases where I'm like, use your body, use your power. I don't care what you're doing.
God gave you.
Right.
Hendrix and I are going to start jiu-jitsu this year.
Nice.
And I want together. So in the same class, if not, at very minimum, same dojo.
Right. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I don't mean to cut you off. I might have missed it. What does he do at the dojo? Is it like karate, jiu-jitsu? What is it?
It's strictly jiu-jitsu. I want to start him off with grappling.
Yep.
And then work up to striking.
Yep.
That's my game plan. Because I have boxing background with judo. That's my personal background, and it's worked pretty well for me. But I think that I didn't learn these things until I was like 15.
Right.
But at his age, I'm thinking, if I knew how to grapple at a very young age, that would have really improved my ability to just maneuver in situations. Because I got into playing fights before I learned how to fight.
Yeah.
And Let's keep it not knowing how to take people down. That was, it was a worry in the back of your mind. It's that when you see people start flailing in a fight, it was because they don't know how to fight. I want him to, like, you are going to get into scraps with people, and you're scraps with people before the age of 10, like I did.
Oh yeah, most of them are gonna be before that age.
And you know what? All fights end up on the ground. So learning ground combat is like key. Gotta know.
You are right.
No doubt.
But and just knowing that, even if you take a few shots, like you get in close, you can wrap an arm, take somebody down, sweep a leg, and once you're on the ground, it's okay.
But what I will say is that's what all the jiu-jitsu fighters don't ever tell you, right? Like they just say jiu-jitsu's good if you don't know how to fight.
Oh, no, you gotta have some stand-up game.
But though, if you get hit, how are you gonna lock in that arm bar? You've never been hit before. You don't even know what the fuck you're gonna do in that instance.
Well, and that's why I was a big proponent of wrestling, and why I'm thinking about why I want to get Andrew into wrestling is.
That's why I'm
be able to hit that double leg out of nowhere
and hitting your kids. Hit them. Hit your kids. No, I'm just playing. But no. In a sense though, out of everything that I've gone through from childhood.
Hold on, you guys are talking over each other, and it's all cutting out. Say it again, Matt.
One of the best fighters in my high school, the guy that knocked me out. I had 50 pounds on him. Was a guy that he wrestled, but his dad also beat the piss out of him, so he just was used to being hit,
right?
But afraid of taking that shot.
That's tough.
I saw that guy on many occasions go into street fights and just charge into the first blow, and it didn't really matter to him because it's this is gonna glance off my head. That's fine.
You ain't gonna hit me as hard as my dad would.
Right.
Beat the holy piss out of you until you're fucking wishing you had never started this thing.
Well, and it's funny you say that because
I still think that to this day.
I hear you.
And I know my dad doesn't have the hardest hit, but I still think that nobody's going to hit me as hard as he did.
Yep. No, it's funny you say that.
I'll beat the shit out of you.
Because I've gotten to the point now where, Andrew, when his anger flares up and he thinks he's going to hit me, I tag him.
The fuck? That motherfucker's already 100 pounds. You better?
100 pounds, he's 150.
I don't give a fuck. Listen, I don't give a fuck what a teacher, principal said. That's not you. Fucking better,
right? And it's always a gut. It's always somewhere where I know he'll be all right. But
right, you'll be all right.
But I had an experience with I hope my dad is watching right now because he said he was going to tune in because I'm on tonight.
The Reeds, go get Dan.
Go get him. That's my guy too.
My dad squared up with me in the driveway one night when I was 15. 16, 17, something like that. He caught me smoking weed in the car with a buddy of mine, at 2 a.m. And he was just really funny. He's like, "What, you want to throw down?" Because he could tell. I was like, "Fuck you, guy."
You gave him the fuck you eyes.
That moment, being at that point in time, I probably had at least 50 pounds on him. I was a lot bigger than my dad from a very early age, and I still was no, he's gonna fuck me up if I throw on him.
Nah, me and my dad don't fight.
See, my problem is I only got into it once with my stepdad, and he said something to me, and I put him through a door.
I don't fight. Listen, my dad knows this. I don't fight with no one.
Man. It's just sneaky. He's got moves you wouldn't even think.
Oh, I believe it.
Nah, I'm not that guy.
He's been in enough scraps. I can tell. I know he would definitely hit me, at least in the balls, if not the knee. Some.
Nah.
And it would not be fun.
I'm not that guy.
But
I'm not saying that my dad may not beat me, but I am not that guy. I'm not about to fight with you.
Yeah.
Him and Chris fight all the time, and it's not a play fight. They get broken bones and all that. if either one of y'all try that with me, I'm gonna try to kill you. And I mean that with all honesty.
The love.
I am going to try to kill either of you. Real talk. I'm not playing with y'all. Like, y'all like to do that shit for fun. That's not me. I'm gonna show you this time that we start fighting. I'm gonna try to take you. He gonna be like, I didn't know he was my son. Yeah, that's what you should know.
That's why I like jiu-jitsu, because jiu-jitsu is all about wrapping people up.
It has gotten me out of a few situations. I will admit that.
Break somebody's eye socket to wrap them up and choke them out and let them know, like, you can't touch me unless I want you to touch me.
There's nothing more dangerous than being able to manipulate a man on the ground and still being able to throw punches.
Yeah, no, I'm totally down. But, like, again, that's the evolution of it. The initial point of jiu-jitsu is to be able to protect yourself.
Yeah. You're bigger than me. But see, my idea, the way I go into shit is I've never been scared of somebody bigger than me. It's always the people my size that I'm like, ooh, shit. I'm not. I don't know about him.
Like, the people that have kicked my ass have been smaller than me.
I've never been kicked. I've never got my ass kicked outside of the ring. Inside of the ring, I've gotten my ass mopped. But outside of the ring, I've never been close to feeling like you about to whoop my ass.
No, and I hear you on that. My big, like, I was not in a ton of scraps growing up because I think I was bigger than most and most backed down. But the first year I wrestled was my first match ever was against the state placer from the year before. And I had zero fear. I didn't know what that meant. I went in. I took his ass to the ground within the first 15 seconds. He was not expecting this kid who had never wrestled before to be like to just have no fear, go in and shoot the dog. Oh yeah, no, I was pinned like 3 seconds later.
I've been I've been just like been fighting a pro and whooping ass, and then a round later, it's like
done.
I need to stop. I can't continue with him. I felt that. No, I felt that.
That was real.
But I've never in my life fucked with a motherfucker on the street that was like, oh, yeah, you're capable.
Yeah.
Well, capable is different. You're comparable. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, you can compete.
Jiu-jitsu is one of those things that's hard to do on the street because I'm in a ring one-on-one. That's fine.
Now, you better never know. You better never.
The street. One.
Never let a motherfucker know you got jiu-jitsu. Cause a nigga like me, you gonna try to grapple me? I'm going to beat your ass until you get a hold of me. Just cause I know you do jiu-jitsu. I'm not gonna get close enough for you to I'm gonna beat your fucking ass.
Stick and move.
And how many jiu-jitsu practitioners do you know that have hands? None of them. None of them.
Well, that's why you got.
Think about the UFC. Not one of them.
Well, if you're just training in jiu-jitsu, that's silly.
Right.
Correct.
You have to be. If anybody has paid attention to MMA in the last 20 years, like, yeah, you got to be able to stand up.
Not one will win since Royce Gracie. And the only reason Royce got it was because niggas didn't know about jiu-jitsu back then.
My favorite MMA clip of all time is, I think it was Dan Severn trying ground and pound on Gracie, and he overextends on one punch and got that arm bar.
Love Dan Severn. I loved it. I was the guy that was rooting for Dan Severn. I was pissed when he got submitted. That shit don't make sense. How you let this nigga that don't even throw punches beat you?
I hear you.
Now we understand that shit means something.
So, guys, take people from the mat, lying back. Stir the fight on their back. Guy was standing over him. I mean, there's different ways to take the fight, but if it's one-on-one, that's different.
Right.
If you're in the street, like there's definitely going to be a buddy that's going to be in the head.
Yeah, right.
Jiu-jitsu saved my life a few times. I wouldn't say saved my life, but you know what I mean.
Well, that my whole ideology is like mixed jiu-jitsu with like Krav Maga kind of stuff. Was like teach like real pressure points that will eliminate something. So you twist somebody up and then hit them where it's like your arm is no longer useful anymore, and then you let them go.
You want a born identity. He said Krav Maga and Jiu-Jitsu.
But no, you know exactly what I'm talking about.
I know what you mean.
That you can just jab into with your thumb. If you wrap somebody up, get them crossed up, jab that in, roll them off of you. They're not in a great place.
That motherfucker would never be a fighter though. Like that would just be self-defense. That would never be a like competitive fighter.
I'm trying to defend himself.
Yeah.
I want money.
In for a living.
Karma, you big as fuck. And you've been trained longer than most motherfuckers. Use it, motherfucker. Before I start loving you less. No, I'm just playing.
Talk about their careers.
But I will look at you different.
Their way to the top. And it's like they get their skulls fucking stoved in for 10 years before they even start making money.
Well, that depends on what kind of skull you got. And I mean that to the depths of my soul. Your skull wasn't built for it then. That's not our fault. That's not our fault that you wasn't built to fight. That's your fault.
I don't think any of us are really built to fight.
All of us are built to fight. Every single last one of us. The Geek Squad. What was that movie? Nerds Revenge. Every last one of us were built to fight. It's just about what you learn. See, it's funny, right? Because our whole world has moved from protect and serve, like the army was, to just live and be cool to everybody. But what happens when you don't?
Right.
What happens when you run into somebody that doesn't give a fuck about the rules?
Right.
If you don't know what you're doing, you're dead.
Dude, you gotta fight like there's no ring.
Right, and we have a world right now where it's full of participation trophies. Do you think you get
participation trophies in firearms, but yeah.
Well, I hope that they both went together. I hope that you got your participation trophy from a firearm shooting contest. Otherwise, you're just another mark in the street.
Yeah.
I mean, there is that old adage that God didn't make every man equal. Mr. Remington
did. Right.
No, I think that's wrong. I think God made every man equal. It's just about what your strengths are and how you choose to use them.
How you've honed them.
Right.
What you've chosen to hone.
I think we're all equal. Not all, but I think for the most part, we're equal. We just choose to use our strengths in a different way.
Okay, so again, I'm going to go back to the first principles here. The whole point of teaching my son martial arts is so he's afraid.
He can what? I'm sorry, you cut out.
The whole point in teaching him martial arts is so he's not afraid.
Right.
Yep.
That's the real thing. Self-confidence.
Yep.
The more capable you are, the more confident you are.
I want him to be okay. I want him to know, not fear, know.
Right.
I know what to do. And so, the whole idea, and this should be the principle of any dojo.
My nigga, I'm 5'5" on a good day. You hear what I'm saying? On a good day, I'm 5'5". I've never felt not confident. But a lot of that came from getting ass whooped. A lot of ass whoopings.
Campus Mike here, like, I was a big guy from a very young age. Like, I just didn't have to. Like, a lot of people didn't bring it to me because I just outweighed them by 100 pounds.
Right.
But I don't know. My son, he seems to be on that track, but I would still like to teach him before he gets to that point that, you know, like, you don't have to be afraid of anybody.
Yeah.
But you don't have.
You shouldn't. You shouldn't be afraid of anything. It is what it is. Shit's going to happen.
That's not the point of martial arts is to know how powerful you are and have the restraint to not
know what you can control.
Yep. It's the confidence
and see,
side.
That's the crazy thing about it is I've said it on the podcast before. They always say that the most friendliest people you'll ever meet are the capable ones.
Right.
You're right.
Because I don't have a reason to get hyped up because you want to fight me? Oh, well.
Right.
You're not good enough to fight me, so why am I going to bite that? I'm not going to bite that.
No, I've seen it in real life, like really skilled fighters get into some shit and they're just like, seriously,
I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to do this.
Because this is going to end badly for everybody.
For everyone. I'm going to be in jail. And you're gonna be fucked up. I'm not gonna do this. I'm not gonna do it.
Well, that was always Jake and I's line when we'd go out together was, yeah, we could do this. We all gonna hurt in the morning.
I love to hurt in the morning. Now that's one thing I will say is God made me. That's why I had to be a warrior before I had this life. Because I love the pain in the morning. I love waking up being like, oh my eye. Oh, well, what's next?
Didn't kill you, made you stronger.
That little shiner you gave me wasn't shit, motherfucker. How you feeling tomorrow?
Right.
This man needs a rifle in a war zone.
Nah, I don't want a rifle. I want a hatchet. A hatchet in close contact.
He missed his calling as a Viking.
I did. And my color. You know, there was black Vikings, so. But I would have been one of them that they was like, my people would have been like, you weak as fuck, you traitor. You fought with the white folks. Because I don't like heat. That's why I went with the white folks.
Right, no doubt.
It's hot over here.
It's hot.
The fuck? I just want to fight comfortable. That's really all I want, Lord. Just let me fight comfortable for the rest of my life.
In the snow.
For the rest of my life, I'll fight comfortable. And God willing, if I die, take me to Valhalla.
All right. Well, let's
get into the real shit.
Yeah, we're like an hour and 15 in, so let's get into the main topic for the evening.
This might be.
Tell me about this Vegas thing. Tell me about what's happening in Vegas, Cliff.
Who, me?
Yeah, you.
Okay, I guess I will.
You sent me the videos. I watched them. I actually watched everything you sent me this past week.
Apparently, there is a video that was dropped by Jose Morales, Miles Morales' brother. And this how you know he was his brother, because the nigga didn't shoot not one web at this motherfucker. Nah, but it was I don't know what do you call that? Can you call that an unidentified flying saucer crash?
Yeah, I mean, there was definitely an unidentified flying object that crashed. And it was police body cam footage.
Right, so if the police were worried about it, then we know it really happened. Huh?
I gotta throw in. I saw the clip about this earlier yesterday or today. I didn't see anything crash. I saw a spiraling light on a police officer's body cam.
But it was headed down, though. You can't deny that it wasn't headed down. And then if you watch the video...
It looks like it flashes, doesn't it? Yeah, like there's a flash when
Yeah, it's headed down on a police's body cam. And then if you watch the video that the young boy, Jose Morales... He released the ring cam where it gives the audio.
Where you can hear the impact.
That was the eeriest shit of all of it.
Yeah. When
I heard the audio, I was like, oh no, that's weird. That's weird. With the color, that's weird.
Okay, so we got aliens in the backyard?
Yes, in Vegas, because obviously they were attracted to the light like moths.
You hear me? That would be the one place. That's a good point. That would be the one place to land if you were flying at a crash course towards Earth.
In the dark.
Vegas would be the best. You would target
You'd see the light. Yeah. Especially if you were looking for resources or something.
That's a good fucking point.
Are you guys serious right now?
I am dead. I'm dead ass.
No, I mean in terms of like the choosing of the location.
Like, Vegas doesn't seem like it'd be
the desert. Yeah.
But, listen,
I don't know. Maybe they don't need water. Maybe they're not Maybe they're not water-based life forms.
Crash Course is a crash course, motherfucker. Denzel landed his shit upside down. It was that Tom Hanks. Either way, if Denzel landed a plane upside down, and I guarantee you the aliens is like, we good. We gonna sit in this little callback to the mothership, and they gonna Scotty beam us up.
I'm in the camp of, if you have a civilization that is able to cross the universe, why would they be?
They shouldn't fall. They shouldn't crash.
You gotta stop talking over him though, dude, because it's Zoom and it cuts him out. Say it again, Matt.
Like nobody's heard anything.
Said
it
again.
No, you can't. You can't believe that a civilization. So, like, we all know how big the universe is, and how rare, life is in the universe.
Right. No, I agree.
Closest star is 21 light years away.
Yeah.
The closest star that could possibly have another planet around it.
Yeah.
21. So obviously, you have to really understand the modes of travel, all that shit, the complexities of space travel, and they come down here and want to do what exactly?
My nigga, we still haven't we still haven't realized why the pyramids are adjacent to the North Stars and all that. We still haven't realized that. So this could be the return of a situation that had already been in place for long before. They've been saying that aliens are underground. We still haven't got that. Why haven't we got that deep?
Or ocean floor?
You feel me? No, I'm saying beyond that deep. They've been talking about the fucking pyramids, shit under there. Well, why didn't you in?
Right.
You got enough.
They have gone deep, actually.
Nah, they haven't.
There's a hole they drilled in Russia, trying to get down to as deep as possible. I think they went
I believe that.
5 miles. They went 5 miles subterranean with a drill bit that was about 1 inch in diameter, and that's where it stopped. They couldn't go any deeper.
It stopped there. And what?
Yeah, there's physics problems involved. We can't drill that deep.
The pressure, if nothing else, the pressure is compounding things where it can't drill any further.
Beyond that, is 70% of the Earth is covered in water.
Right.
Period.
There could be shit on the bottom of the ocean floor that's doesn't even need to be excavated. But we have no idea it's there because we can't search that amount of area, and there's not enough money.
I already been down there.
Dude,
I already been down there. I told y'all, them motherfuckers took me down there.
You missed this. You missed this episode,
yeah,
Matt.
You wasn't there. I already been down there.
Cliff was abducted about 2 months ago.
It's about 2 months ago. And I wouldn't say abducted like I'm some crazy motherfucker. But what I will say is it was the craziest experience of my life. I'll say that.
Did they put anything in your butt?
I asked him the same question.
Yeah, and my butt was cool. And the next morning, my butt was cool. My butt was all right. And I don't consider that to be a bad. Right? That would be the first question I asked. Did you feel anything tender?
You know, when you get a sleeper hold, sometimes you wake up and your anus really hurts.
You know what I'm saying? Nah, but what I told Mike was I had a dream. Crazy vivid dream. I was in something. I won't say like a spacecraft, but it would, give you the idea that that's what it was. It came from the sky, of course. I'm looking out of the dashboard, I guess you would say, of the spacecraft. And it drops down into the ocean and water splashes up over like what I'm seeing out as the
windshield.
Right. Freaked out. All I remember is waking up on some bullshit. I have never in my life experienced anything like that. I wouldn't even have said it. If it didn't make me feel like
there was something more to it.
Listen, all I'm saying is on my way home this evening, I will be watching the sky in any star that's above me. I'm swerving. You know what I'm saying? I don't care what it looks like. They can say I'm drunk all they want to. Well, why would you swear? Sir, did you see the lights in the sky? Have you heard about Vegas? Can I teach you something for a minute? Can we park?
Can we park? And can I show you this video?
Right. The fuck? All I'm saying is I've never in my life. That was the, and I've had a lot of vivid dreams. A lot of them involve sex, but I've had a lot of vivid dreams. I've never had nothing like that. Never in my life have I ever experienced nothing like that.
I don't want to poo-poo your perspective. Like, I definitely believe there's...
I would like for you to.
There's life in the universe beyond us. There's no question.
I agree.
But has it been here is the question.
I agree. I think so.
Well, here's the thing.
How many things do we have here that we can't explain?
There's that, and then to your earlier point, if their technology is as advanced as it would need to be, I think it's a rational thought to think that they would also seek out life-bearing planets as well.
And I've heard, great, analysis on this is like, how would we engage a, inferior species? How do we do it on this planet?
Oh, we would fucking murder them and take their resources.
I don't even know if we would. But I was going to say we would pass out and wake back up in our bed after the ocean water came up over our...
Observe an intelligent species like dolphins or chimps. You observe closely, but at a distance. They know you're there, but you don't really interact with them. You want to see how they do in their own environment.
So you're saying dolphins and chimps are pagers?
I'm saying dolphins and chimps are synonymous with what we would be to aliens.
To aliens that could traverse the universe. Yeah.
See, that changes things, though.
The way we observe chimps and dolphins, highly intelligent creatures, that are living.
Right.
I would imagine an alien civilization would observe us in a very similar fashion.
Well, but even in those cases, you're using the example of us observing wildlife. We fuck up all the time in that.
Yeah, and hey, look at, like all these sightings. Like you would think that if they can travel across the universe, they can cloak themselves. Like maybe the cloaking device just broke that day.
Yeah.
Like, hey, our vehicles break down all the time. Fuck, the thing broke.
But I agree. I agree with what you're saying, but my whole combat to that would be what my whole so why if you were an advanced species or being, would you do anything to affect the order of what they have going on?
Doesn't mean you would do it intentionally. I think that that's the big thing, is that we make this assumption that if they were to show up and they were observing, like, they wouldn't make mistakes. Like, I think that that's the biggest thing, and like, we do that all the time.
I agree, but what I will say, and I'm sorry, Matt, I don't mean to cut you off, but what I will say is, as soon as that shit popped up on World Star about the shit, what do you think the next video was?
I don't know what.
Yes. You don't got it.
Somebody arguing it.
No, it was the video of the mixed race couple. The black girl and the white woman that got abducted, that claimed to have got abducted. The first actual abducting that the government recognized. Let's put it like that. So what I'm saying is, you got a black man and a white woman that got abducted by aliens. And we talking about in an era where I wouldn't trust a nigga if he said he was home all night. And they all of a sudden like, that shit might be true. Now we know what, didn't we do the podcast with your aunt?
Yep.
When did they
1973 or something?
Exactly. Legalize the mixed race marriage. So you would completely not give a fuck about the fact that this is a black and a white woman married, but the aliens are more important. You know what I'm saying?
I hear you.
All I'm saying is, it's happened for a while now. Now it just seems like, what's the title?
Aliens in Vegas.
They here.
All right, Matt, what do you got to say to all that?
They here. I can tell you where they at.
Where are they?
They took me. They dropped me down into
They're in the
water.
Ocean. We know.
Listen, and
then why were they headed for Vegas?
And that's what's crazy, because I was about to say it's an Atlantic. It's an Atlantic.
Vegas, because that's where like Area 51, Los Alamos.
That's true.
Supposedly, you know, they have alien technology. I just saw a thing about, you know, like some deep cover, whistleblower people from the CIA just came out and said, like, the United States has like at least 12 alien spacecraft.
I agree. That's what Bob Lazar.
Breaking points this past like 2 days ago.
You ain't see that on Netflix?
No.
No.
Bob Lazar?
But again, like, I don't know these sources. I don't know if this is just like government propaganda. Like, I don't know anything. I just know what they just keep throwing out there in the ether. And why all of a sudden in the last 2 years do they just feel like, oh, we should just like start letting people know?
Matthew's a shill. You don't got Parkinson's, do you?
Are you just is this like a magic trick where it's like dingly 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 dingly?
No, like a Michael J. Fox, but Matthew J. Fox. You don't have Parkinson's, do you?
I'm not shaking that bad, but you know.
I know what you said. Listen, I don't know, man. All I'm saying is, on my way home, I will be.
I question the validity
looking
of all
to the sky.
Like the amount of them that, particularly when it comes to the U.S. government, that is not big on like releasing secrets. It is all of a sudden just like, hey, by the way, there might.
But if I was to add an equivalent argument, I would say the government also didn't implement any sort of reparations.
No, I mean,
so that means they're late to the party. They're very late to the party.
They have nothing to lose and they have nothing to gain.
Right.
Like that, the gain part is really my conundrum. Is like, what do they gain by doing this, other than mass distraction?
Well, mass distraction is it. If it is all manufactured.
Well, my whole thing is
my point exactly. It's like, why are they all of a sudden,
Colonel Oligandra?
Maybe it's because the technology around it has gotten stronger.
Years they have denied, and now all of a sudden it's like, oh well, we might have some pictures off of Nimitz. Like, hey, look at this Tic Tac thing from 2004. Hey, we saw some shit over here in Las Vegas.
But like, why? But I think that's exactly why, though, is that technology is more prevalent than it's ever been in terms of being able to record and capture those things. Whereas before, that's just, Bill in his barn out in bumfuck Egypt.
Yeah,
whereas now there's more evidence of it and they can't just ignore it.
I agree.
It's becoming increasingly hard to deny the existence of it.
Right.
I'll also say that maybe they just want to see what's popping in the Errol Spence Terrence Crawford fight. Maybe that's it.
I am of the mindset that like they had CD-ROM technology in the 70s.
You're talking about us.
A rapper had around that concept.
You're talking about us. Yeah, I get you. I get what you're saying.
Organizations such as DARPA developed CD-ROMs, a disc that can be read by a laser in the 1970s. Yet that hit public until the 1990s. And so you think about things like that, and it's how much technology has improved that they are not letting us
that they're not sharing. Abso-freaking-lutely.
And so how much of this flying saucer shit is them test piloting things?
I can hear you on that too. Like that would make sense. I think the interesting thing on that fact is even with, I don't know, I feel like propulsion technology is harder to hide. And that doesn't mean they can't. But I think something that hits that level of scale is harder to keep under wraps, especially, again, in this day and age where everybody has a phone, everybody has a ring cam, and you're recording all this stuff.
Like, it's pretty easy to manipulate lights in the sky. Like, that's not, like, Neil deGrasse Tyson, and he's, like, pretty much debunked a lot of these things. And it's like,
Neil deGrasse Tyson.
These things. But, it's like... Commander Faber and his interaction with the Tic Tac that they, tracked on multiple different tracking systems. And it's like this little craft, that was flying off the coast of San Diego, that they tracked with F-18s, and satellite technology from like the Nimitz is moving beyond anything that they have any understanding of.
Right, from a propulsion technology standpoint. Like it defies almost the laws of physics.
Like it has to be a drone. At least if it were our technology, it has to be a drone because a human being inside of that thing would be frapped by the G-forces. Like it's moving that fast.
Yeah.
So I I will, concede like maybe there is technology out there that can move that fast, but we can't put a person inside of it yet.
We can.
Maybe
we can. Maybe we can.
Have you guys watched the Bob Lazar documentary?
Yep.
Yeah, like that kind of shit is like if you figure out how to...
I asked you that, and didn't he say he didn't know what I was talking about?
No, I think I said that.
Oh, okay.
No, I know exactly what you're talking about. I've gone the deep dive on this stuff, and I'm still undecided. I just don't... There's so many...
So you think Bob is lying?
In a part of it, but there's so much lack of evidence where it's just like... I agree. I kind of refer to Michio Kaku, like if you get abducted by aliens for the love of God, steal something.
Right.
Just prove that it was real.
Well,
right.
I'm offering myself to Colonel Lazerberg.
Hey, when they stick that thing up your bum, clench down real hard.
Keep it in there.
Yeah, I'm taking it. Pause, but I'm taking that. I gotta come back with some sort of evidence.
The REIT's chiming in with plausible deniability before, and I think that goes back to the technology comment that now you can't hide it because there's too much evidence.
Now they keep me out anyway. They keep me out.
Ever since they made, like, dude, Independence Day, they like put the premise of plausible deniability out there into the ether, and ever since then, it's like, yeah, we can obviously deny anything as long as they didn't know about it.
Right.
I'm sure that concept was not new when they made that movie in '98.
No.
They're here.
We're
here at the end of the day.
I agree. I mean, again, if there's a species that is advanced enough to traverse the galaxy 20 plus, 200 plus, 2,000 plus light years at a time, they are technologically advanced to be double blind watching us, like from wherever they want, cloaking technology, whatever, in a location we can't view.
That's my point.
Yeah.
It's like,
fuck what he's saying. They said something about the black folks.
Galaxy.
They didn't even know the black folks was smart. How the fuck they gonna know an extraterrestrial being is?
I hear you.
And they're gonna just like accidentally zap down into a backyard in Las Vegas. Oh, whoopsie!
Well, but again, shit can go wrong. Like I can only imagine the complications that you would have. I mean, we have complications with land vehicles using gasoline power.
I mean,
traversing the galaxy, shit can go wrong, I'm sure.
All I'm saying is, can we stop?
I mean, I'm still having a hard time wrapping my head around it.
Well, I mean...
Can we stop, though? Because I need a designated driver, and y'all are trying to ruin my, you know what I'm saying?
I thought you opened this door.
He did.
I opened it?
Always.
Well, listen. They ain't gonna get me back down in that water. It's gonna be a wild fight around.
Oh man!
Like,
now,
back in that.
I mean, at the end of the day,
aliens could be real.
No, they're definitely real. Whether or not they're here is the question.
There we go. Could be real.
Could be no. I'm sorry, I misspoke. Could be here.
Okay. That's a very
diplomatic way of putting it.
There you go. That's what I'm looking for. Like a patriotic word. Like
they could be. I'm not 100% sure. Oh shit. You know.
And like, that's always my thing when people ask me, like, well, as part of the dating app questionnaire is what's your favorite conspiracy theory? And I'm like, first of all, aliens are real. Whether they're here or not is the conspiracy.
Is that a question on it?
Yeah, it was.
Did I sign off on that?
I think you did.
I might.
Because that's how crazy is this chick.
Listen.
That like our understanding, like the Bob Lazar shit, like our understanding of zero gravity or like 0 point gravity or whatever, like anti-gravity, whatever the hell that propulsion system is that he was studying.
Right.
That could be the solution to getting us off of this planet.
Oh yeah.
And that's the wild aspect of it is like, if you're really holding that back, why? Like, really turn that
deep,
information.
Right? Because you don't know.
It's control and power.
No, turn it loose on the scientists that could like really open it up.
Yeah, but the ones that they want to have that access have that access.
Well, governments view everything in terms of national security, and that's unfortunate. You know, I don't want a one world government. I'm not sure exactly how that would work, but you know, like instead of looking at each other as enemies, they figure out how to look at each other as like we have like some mutual benefits to doing this.
Agreed. But that's not the world we live in yet.
Well, how do we get there, goddammit?
Another world war and somebody seizing power.
Ukraine thing a good thing?
I mean, at the end of the day, like, I hear your point on one world government would terrify me from it's not going to be run by people that have the best interest, right?
And like, and 1984 really spelled this out. It's very Orwellian.
Right. So, but the flip side of it is without that, or without some cataclysmic event that leads to that, I don't know that you see the advances that you could see otherwise. Like, that was the whole thing. And even Star Trek, which is one of the biggest, like, utopian society sci-fi things ever, it took World War III for us to get there, and the invention of warp drive and the introduction of an extraterrestrial species. Like,
that's exactly the point I was about to make is, like, how do you get to a Star Trek level beatific society that has only the advancement of the society in large as their ideal. You know, it's like that's the only thing that matters.
Yeah.
And money, politics, they don't matter.
Well, and unfortunately, you need a collapse of the current system first for that to take shape.
Exactly, what would it take to like? Has anybody ever theorized that? Like, I've read and watched a lot of sci-fi that has never really taken. Like, they always have the end result,
right? But they never talk about how they got there, right? I mean, some of that's the promise of like AI and that kind of thing. Unfortunately, even when you go the AI route, you have to have a cataclysmic event first.
Are we just doomed? Is that what it is?
I don't know. I mean, I kind of feel like we're just doomed first before you can get to that utopian state.
Why is it every time I come on here, I feel like we end up
that we end up in a place where the world has to end first?
About this, I want to end on a high note.
Matt says he wants to end on a high note, and every time he comes on, he feels like we have to get to dystopia before we go through utopia.
Well, before you end on a high note,
let's just like skip all that and go straight to rainbows and unicorns.
Wizards is the only way that it works.
Everybody wins the Mega Millions. Like,
no, that would just be an economic nightmare. Inflation would be crazy.
For who, though?
If everyone were to win the Mega Millions. First of all, if everyone won the Mega Millions, nobody would win the Mega Millions.
Touche.
You would have 300 million people that were really pissed off that they only won $3.
Right.
Touche. Well. Well.
Come on, Cliff. You gotta pick it up where we left off.
You didn't speechless me. I'm speechless.
There you go. All right. Well, we are at about 2 hours. So, Matt, you got anything you want to close with?
I got nothing, man.
You got nothing? Did you end up starting your own show?
We tried, but scheduling conflicts made it not possible.
Adulting sucks. I'm with you.
Yeah, it does, man. Like, so much. Like, he was trying to get on this one, but my boy is Bill.
Oh no, we finally lost Matt.
Right. what you talking about. Been kidnapped.
What do you got, Cliff? Anything?
Like, subscribe, share. If you're listening from an extraterrestrial world, give us a boost on YouTube.
Get all your friends from those extraterrestrial planets to give us a bump.
Leave me away from the water. If you wouldn't have took me in the water, I might have been all right.
There you go. Well, with all of that, like Cliff said, do us a favor, like, share, subscribe, all that stuff, and peace out, fools.